great. These nets here are tribal nets. You aren't really allowed to go fishing using a drift net or any kind of a gill net in the Puget Sound, which is where Marvy and I are. But the tribal folks are, because of their heritage, and they were here first. They get to catch salmon. I don't know if I just saw a sea lion. I'll have to look at this video. I saw something come up over there. But anyway, maybe he's eating some of the salmon that's been caught on the net. We'll have to look. You'll be able to see over my shoulder. I won't be able to see if he was there or not. We get these big 1,000-pound sea lions coming through here every day. It's pretty cool. Anyway, on with business here. There is change in the wind, folks, for Marvy and I. I'm not going to clickbait it. It's like we quit or we're leaving or any of that stuff, but there is change that's happening for us, and we wanted to share that with you. Before I do, I want to address and respond to one of the folks that watches our videos. He left a comment, a quite extensive, very informative, knowledgeable comment about the video I had about Throw It Away, about my Sawaki G500. And the issue I have with that comment was basically said that I leave inaccurate or incomplete information. Other than that, brother, 100% agree with everything else you've said. Very detailed, you're very knowledgeable, very accurate. I don't believe I leave inaccurate information. Occasionally I do. I think Dove corrected me on how many national parks we had, just some bonehead little things. But generally I don't leave actual false information that's important. I mean, little details, yeah, but generally I don't. So if somebody writes in again and says I give false information, please tell me what it is, because we all want to learn and improve. However, incomplete information is really the thing I want to talk about in addressing this email. I don't leave incomplete information. What I also don't do is, I'm not a technical channel. So while you supplied all of this technical information, which you may think that my information wasn't complete, well, that's true. That's true, because my channel is not a channel that's really based on having a lot of technical information. Most of the folks that I'm viewing, or that are viewing us, are looking to see how Marvy and I live our life. And we don't live it in a laboratory. We don't live it in a house with all of these sensors and testing devices. And we don't go pointing out speeds and feeds. We kind of just give our experience. So by nature of that, it's not going to be complete. And even when you're complete about providing information, there's always going to be someone who says, well, that's not complete enough because you didn't tell us about where lithium comes from or the environmental problems behind it. So it could go on and on. I used to be a juggler and acrobat and street performer, and when I had hair and it was down to here and all of that, it's a long story. I always call it, but can you do 5 balls or can you do 20 balls? So you'll work about 6 months and learn how to juggle 3 balls. And then someone will say, well, can you do 4 balls? So you say, sure, you know, come back in 2 months. And so you will work on 4 balls. And then they say, well, how about 5? And it just goes on and on and on. So, no, we keep all of our information pretty simple to the lay person's terms. And so just to recap, I had a G500. It's a lithium battery. What type is irrelevant. They said it runs about 400 or 500. Then it drops down to 80% charge. And then well, it didn't even go that. It didn't even go that. It started dying after about a year, year and a half, reducing. And then it just kind of went kaput. And at the time of the video, I thought, oh, this is going to be great. I can still just plug it in and use it. No, it died completely. So no, that does not meet the criteria of buying that product. But that's not even the point. If you go back and watch the video, guys, I actually always give a list of alternate. There's DIY solar, there's another one guy, so you can get all of your technical things that you need to learn from someone else, and I give you a link there. So I see no reason to replicate that and bore a lot of my viewers. Those are not the people that are subscribed. Maybe if I did that, I'd have 50,000. Maybe if I wore a G-string and went topless, you know, or did the sexy stuff, I would probably lose all of my subscribers. But if I had some, you know, anyway. So anyway, but I'm not trying to chastise you as a viewer for coming in and writing to me. I love that, and all of your information is really helpful, so I hope folks will jump on and read that if they're really interested. And again, you can go to the links on my video and learn more about that. The only issue I had was I don't believe that I provide inaccurate information, and then second of all, again, the idea that it being incomplete. Yeah, a lot of things we do are incomplete because they're just kind of general ideas, and giving you a chance to dive into whichever part that you want to know specifically. There's a whole internet full of that stuff. Okay, so on now with the changes. As you can see, Seattle, Marvy and I are here. We've been here for quite a while. We've decided, because I do a little teaching on the side via the internet through Skype, and then we have Social Security, and it's not enough really. That's going to be, it's enough for us to survive on, and that's about it. We barely survive. So after 2 years of being in the van, it's been really tough. I mean, two of us plus a slightly overweight border collie. It's a low top. You've seen the van. It's really difficult for us. It's really getting more difficult for us, and we decided we wanted to upgrade. We've looked at all types of RVs, and I sold RVs for like 6 months, and they had a huge place where they repaired RVs. I really got to go back to see how these things are constructed. I will not own an RV. Of course, now I said that, next year I'll probably end up with one. No, we have decided, drum roll, is that if we can afford them and it's still available, we are going to buy a box truck. I've had my eye on one when we first started doing van life. It was just out of reach for us financially, gas wise, and all of that. So we will be moving hopefully this year, next year, in January or further on, into a box truck, and we'll do that long build, and you'll be able to see all of that. We'll answer even your technical questions about how we're doing things, and you can see all of that. So Rob, how can you do that if you just said you're barely surviving? That's a good dang question. We're going to do seasonal workforce. Work camping, as most people know it, is when you work at either a warehouse or up in Alaska, or at a national park or a campground or the beet harvest or whatever. Well, we thought, well, what a great intro to do. Probably one of the most difficult ones, and has the most publicity and complaints about it, is that we are going to work for Amazon starting in 5 days. Yeah, in 5 days we're going to be working there, and kind of excited about it. I know it's going to be physically really hard and draining. We're going to be working from 6:30 at night until 5 in the morning, 4 or 5 days a week, maybe 6 if I can get the overtime. The pay isn't bad at all. So I think with both of us working, if we don't have any repetitive motion injuries or any of that stuff, and we can make it, it's going to be 14 weeks long. And I actually stopped teaching English just because I'm just, you know, by the time you work 10 hours, you sleep 8, you've got 6 hours, and then you still have to drive, do laundry, showers, walk the dog, and then move from one place to the next. It just won't be enough time for doing that. So it's very exciting for us. We are going to give that a go. You can Google camper force. Amazon and see all of the people, and some people are pretty positive about it, and I think the majority of people are negative about it for one reason or another. I always go in with a positive attitude and looking forward to it. So we will see how our attitudes change. We will be posting as time goes on what's going on. I don't think you're allowed to have cameras in there. May not even be allowed to talk about it once you start working. I don't know. We have to go to the orientation in a couple days and they'll kind of tell us the rules. So we're going to be doing that and trying to bring in enough money so that maybe in January, February, we will be looking for a box truck. Now, the one we have, in case you're curious, the one we are interested in having, you know, I notice I move my hands a lot, and you know what? So I move my hands a lot. It's a bad habit, so I'm going to try to not do that as much. Anyway, the original and the idea that we're looking at is a box truck, which would be an older U-Haul, anywhere between 17 and 20 foot. I would like the 20-foot one, but 17 seems to be the most common that's being sold nowadays. So if corporate doesn't change their mind, U-Haul, and pull those from the market, I hear that they're just taking the box off them and selling the chassis and the cab and the engine. But as far as I know, they're still selling them. And if not, we'll move on to a different box truck idea. Yes, for those of you going, well, I'm going to make a comment about getting a school bus. We thought about that too. I'm kind of not into the schoolies, mainly because you can't insulate them as well. A lot of windows, very hard to drive in many ways. And for what we do, I think the box truck is going to be better. So those are the changes, my friends. It's we're going to be stationary for about 3 months, and so if we don't talk to you every week about Amazon or some crisis or some place interesting we're doing, oh, there's squid season opening, so I know you guys are just sitting on the edge of your seat going like, pull them up, get those squid, you know. But anyway, if we run out of things to say, I can always do a video about like a Bob Wells video, self-worth, the predestined origins of mankind and where it's heading, and feeling good about just I'm strong enough, I'm smart enough, my golly, Stuart Smalley, I like myself. So I'm just ragging on Bob. A lot of people love those videos. I'm not into them that much, but I like the more controversial stuff, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But I won't mention those on this channel, or religion or politics, not on this channel. We try to stay neutral here. Remaining neutral, we'll say, close with a friendly see y'all later. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody who watches us. We appreciate it. And yes, please make your comments as detailed and as long as you would like, or as short as you would like. We love all of that. We love our Patreon folks. Hit the like if you can, and comments, and we'll see you guys down the road, or maybe just in the Amazon parking lot. Not sure. Okay, ciao.